The biggest lie in how you're supposed to train to become a better football player isn't necessarily what people tell you, but it's what they show you with their drills online. A question I get asked a lot is, what's the best training routine? What's the best training split for a football player? And in all honesty, there is no best training split for you. Like, there's no push-pull legs 4 days a week, 6 days a week. Oh, you need to be doing this more. Like, I know y'all see videos of y'all just scrolling on Instagram and whatnot and saying, oh, you need to be doing, if you're not an athlete, what are you doing? If you're not doing this, if you're an athlete and you're not doing this, what are you doing? Like, you're leaving gains on the table. And like, there's a lot of like misinformation out there for sure in the training world. And so I'm just gonna make this video just so I can clear some things up and y'all can structure yourselves a better workout routine through the week, and that actually is catered to you. And it's not me telling you what you need to do, but it's me telling you how you should structure your workouts, how you'll see progress, and how you won't run yourself into the ground by doing things that actually hurt you more than help you. So you got to understand that it's not a one size fits all when it comes to developing a training split, okay? It really depends on your current situation. Are you in season or are you out of season? What stage are you in the off season, okay? I'm gonna break down what you should be doing in the off season and stages of the off season and what you could be doing in season. Now, when developing your training split, your training routine, there's a couple things that you have to ask yourself and some good factors to take in. And it's, what age are you? I mean, are you in high school? Are you in junior high? Are you in college? I mean, if you're a little kid watching this, you don't need to be lifting too much weights, but I don't think there's too many little kids watching this. But so, are you in off season or in season? I just said that. Where are you in off season, and what are your main focuses? If you're in off season and the season literally just ended yesterday, and now it's time for the off season, depending on how skilled you are and how athletic you are, if you're super athletic, then I'm not gonna lie, I would take a rest. Or if I play another sport, I'll go hop into the other sport. But I would rest my body for a few weeks at least, because your body needs that rest. You just went training camp, you just went the whole season, and now your body needs a rest, okay? But then when you hop right back into training, whenever it's your first day of training, your first couple like weeks or months, I would just focus on getting strength and developing good movement patterns, and really locking in on getting stronger. So do your lifts, but I don't want you going super heavy on the volume. I mean, if you want to get bigger and you feel like you're too small, then you should be focusing on a lot of do volume in the weight room, okay? Like what I did whenever I was trying to get bigger, whenever I thought I wasn't big enough, I just did 4 sets of 12 shoulder presses, really 4 sets of 12, everything, bicep curls, triceps, all of that, okay? But if you're already pretty built, then you can do like, you can do 1 set to failure, a couple warm-up sets, 1 set to failure on all your lifts, okay? And I suggest y'all stay away from the Olympic lifts unless you're a power lifter in the off season. But I would stay away from Olympic lifts, power lifts. I mean, squat, bench, deadlift. You can bench, so yeah, if it's okay. Squat, hang clean, deadlift. Stay away from all of that. Instead, I would just do some isometrics, do some heavy isometrics, do some leg press. I take leg press over squat any day of the week. Some Bulgarians, okay? And make sure you're doing them in the right form. Make sure you're mindful of your movement patterns, that you're putting your leg in a bow. You're loading the pressure into a bow and you're not collapsing that knee. That you're putting pressure through the outside arch of your foot. And if you don't know what that is, know what I'm talking about when I say that. It comes from GOATA. If you've heard of GOATA training, I have a mentorship program. I have courses that teach you GOATA and that help you develop healthy movement patterns and to give you more knowledge about them. Okay, so that interests you, link in bio. But yeah, I mean, depending on where you are, if you want to get bigger, do 4 sets of 12 on your lifts, but don't just hop into it, ease into it. And then if you're more skilled and your main focus isn't really strength, just do lifts from like 1 set to failure for your lifts, like 1 to 3 times a week. Okay. Probably 3 times a week when the off season just starts. And then whenever season starts, then you can lower it, but still lift with intensity. Okay. So I say lift anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week. And 4 is really pushing it. That's if your main focus is to get bigger, okay? But now moving on to sprints. Sprints in the off season, if you're running track, man, do your track workouts. For sure, track workouts will get you right, especially if you have a good coach. But if your main focus is getting faster, then you need to be running full speed sprints twice a week. The days in between your sprints, man, do a plyometric day. Do that and do the lifts. Always do your sprints when you're fresh, okay? And make sure you have good posture. Make sure you're not overstriding, because that'll tear your hamstring. That'll pull your hamstring. And that's what happened to me yesterday that I'm filming this. I pulled my hamstring because I was striding too long. But so make sure you have good form, good posture. Make sure it looks like a 4 when you're running. Boom, boom, 4. Make sure it looks like that. And I say twice a week, run 40 yards. You can run 3 to 6 40-yard sprints with 5 minutes in between. You can do that for a speed workout, and then the next time you do a speed workout, you can run with like 0.25 of your body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that's 50 pounds. 50 pounds resistance of you running with the sled. And then you can do those for like six 20-yard sprints, and then take the sled off and do 6 20-yard sprints, just you. I mean, those can be your 2 sprint workouts for the week. I just gave it to you like that, okay? So sprint twice a week, get 48 hours rest in between. And it's high intensity, low volume, okay? It's how you get hurt if you think running sprints every single day is going to get you faster. That's not how it works. I got my 40 down from a 5.1 to a 4.4 by following those little principles, okay? Yeah, and then plyometrics. You can kind of do plyos kind of every day, but some days are more high intensity. Like the days you sprint, do high intensity plyos that day. And then do like the low intensity jump ropes, like quick off the ground, just low intense stuff. Jump ropes, you can just hop in the air for like 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes a day every day for those, okay? But do those high intensity plyos on the high intensity days, like the sprint days. And then sometimes you can mix them in with you lifting weights. So if you're doing Bulgarians, you can do that, and you can do your weight, go to failure, and then drop the weight, and then stay in that same position, and then just hop up and down for like 5 reps. Okay, you can do that. Yeah, you can mix plyos in with sprints, with lifts, okay? And then there's skill work. This is a big one. Getting better at your position, agility, all of that. And I say the further you out, the less you need. Like if your season just ended, I probably wouldn't hop back into that so quick, because especially as a receiver, if you're running routes year long, you're destroying your ligaments. You're jamming your legs into the ground. It's only a matter of time till you get hurt. I say 3 months. 3 months until the season starts. That's when you start easing into running routes. Start with like maybe 1 route running session a week, and then go into 2, 3. You can go into 4, but that's right when season starts. And then in the season, that's when you're really focused on your skill development. Because in the off season, we want to build the speed, the strength, the explosiveness, because that's the best time we can build it. And then whenever you're in season, that's the best time to work on your skill. Okay. So like if you're super confident in your skill, you really don't need to work on it that much if you're already that cold at it. But that doesn't mean neglect it. The best thing you can do to get better at route running is running routes. The best thing you can do is get better at jump cutting and hurdling over people is by jump cutting and hurdling over people. And literally the best, and I mean, that's what football practice is for. Football practice is the best thing you can do to get better at football. Going against people in a competitive environment is the best thing you can do. Okay, one-on-ones, even though the game is never one-on-one, that still helps your agility because you're competing against somebody. You're not just running around a cone. Okay, competing against somebody is way better than running around cones all day and not competing. So compete against people who are better than you. And then mindfulness. I'm not leaving this one out. I don't care. I'm not leaving this one out. Mindfulness, taking care of your head. If your head is all jumbled up, bad things happen. You can do all of this workout splitting the world, but if you're not meditating, if you're not finding ways to clear your mind, like going on walks, things like that, then, I mean, at some point, you're going to be in a point in life where you're just overthinking and you have a whole bunch of anxiety about stuff. So take care of your mind, develop killer instinct, and develop the ability to be peaceful. Okay. But so strength, 1 to 4 times a week, 1 to 4, anywhere in between. Okay. Plyos. I mean, you can do low intensity plyos like jump ropes, like 5 minutes a day, every day. You can do that 5 days a week. Okay. High intensity plyos like dunking sessions. You can do those on the days you sprint. The days you sprint, and then you can go try and dunk and then do all that. And then skill work. Do it more the closer you are to the season. Don't be running routes 3 days a week in February. Okay, do that. You can do that in July. A thing I didn't really speak on, but it's very important, is we either do 2 splits in the weight room, full body or upper lower. We don't do that push-pull legs. Like what are we doing? The best thing you do is full body, just intense. Full body intense. If you do that, you really only need to work out like 2 days a week, really, in the gym. Because you're building that strength, and then strength turns into explosiveness when it's put in the proper mechanics. So full body or upper lower. I suggest full body. And then some other pointers before I let y'all go. Write your numbers down. Progressive overload is the best way to build strength. So it's called a 10% rule. That requires just a little bit more math. But what I like to do, okay, every 1 to 2 weeks, I'm gonna up my weight by 5 pounds. I'm gonna up my weight if it's a shoulder press, curls, if it's my leg press, all that. The only thing I don't do that with is if I'm doing jumps or sprints with weight on me. Then I just keep it at a certain percentage, like 25% of my body weight. If I'm 200 pounds, I'm jumping and I'm running with 50 pounds resistance. So track yourself, track your progress, film yourself. Be aware of overtraining, because injuries can happen from overtraining. And it's sometimes the overtraining injuries aren't really from overtraining. They can be from bad sleep. You're not eating the right amount of protein, calories, carbs, or you're stressing too much. Those are really the causes of some of these overtraining injuries. So make sure your sleep is right, your carb and protein intake and your calorie intake is right, and make sure your stress is right. And if you want to learn more about your diet, you want to learn more on how to eat right and how to really get in shape and look pleasing and be athletic at the same time, as you see on the screen right here, that's my journey. I've kind of transformed and then had to transform again. So I know what it takes to be out of shape and then to get right back into shape, and then be out of shape again and then get right back into shape. So I know what it takes. I know what you need to do. I know how you need to eat. I know how you need to train. And yeah, develop your own training split. Speed first, and then you can do skill work after, and then strength after. The myth about the perfect workout split is that, oh, what is Justin Jefferson doing? What is Jamar Chase doing? Is he doing upper, lower? Is he doing full body? I need to do the weights he's doing. No, you don't. Because you have lived a completely different life. Your body is way different than his. You need to do what your body needs, and you need to find what your weaknesses are. And when it's the off season, strengthen those weaknesses. You need to find what the points in your body need work, what is good, and you need to be mindful of that. And you develop your own. What I do personally is I do full body 4 days a week. I'll do speed work and plyos kind of at the same time, and then I'll lift after, and then later on those days I'll go run routes, because my route running skills is like that, so I don't need to be doing too much of it. Okay, I'm focusing on just my general athleticism, but if the season's about to start, then focus on your skill level, okay? We're football players, we're not Olympic athletes, we're not power lifters. The best way to become a better football player is to practice the moves you would do in the game over and over and over and over and over again. This is my video on the best workout split. It depends on your schedule. There's no perfect, upper Monday, lower Tuesday rest. There's none of that. There's nothing perfect. It's what's perfect for you and what's getting you better.